And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that short break as we have returned with our second semifinals of the night. We just got an update. Shameless took down Eba 2-1. It went all the way to the ace match, but Shameless was our victor. And now we have our semifinals to determine who advances on to face off against Geralt in those grand finals. Nothing but Protoss remaining here in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. It's a Sparkling Protoss Cup. Let's go, Papi, let's go. It's spawning in the bottom right hand corner. We have our reigning champion. We have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player himself, representing Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. He is Shameless. Este shame. Ay, ay, ay. No shame, papi. No shame. Took down Eba. Eba was the last remaining non-Protoss competitor, but he has been eliminated. Both Eba and Holmono have fallen. Now only Protoss do remain. But which Protoss is the question? Which Protoss will it be? Shameless is moving out across the map with his initial probe. Gonna move out, gonna scout. Meanwhile, Krystianer going for a 2-gate opener back at home. 2-gate opener by Shameless as well. So far, mirrored builds. Now, for those of you that were not here last night, we were live yesterday, as we always are. Yesterday, we were casting a couple of tournaments. We casted CW Open, we casted World Team League, and we also casted a Hatchery Cup number 13. And it was brought up in the chat, the event itself, I mean. But in Hatchery Cup, Krystianer did face off against Shameless in yesterday's semifinals as well. And Krystianer took down Shameless 2-0. It was a 2-0. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast it. We were busy with the other semifinals. We were busy casting Nicorette versus Geralt. It was a great series, by the way, but we missed out on the PvP, so now I'm able to make up for that. Able to finally get eyes on how these two face off. Again, Krystianer is the favorite player coming into this, but I want to believe. I want to have faith in Shameless. Double Stalker. Double Stalker here by Shameless, double Stalker by Krystianer as well. So far, still mirrored builds from our players. As we are looking to expand, looking to throw down those eventual Nexi. Likewise, Krystianer is also across the map looking for that pylon. Pylon has been revealed, so double pylon in the main bases for both players. No proxies. No proxies, no shenanigans. 2 Stalkers are revealed. Likewise, 2 Stalkers also hunting down the probe of Shameless. And Shameless will not get away. And the probe is hunted down. We are expanding behind this, getting into our sentries as well. Into our double sentry follow-up. And so far, everything is looking as it should. So far, we're just keeping up with each other here. No one's deviating yet. No one has teched up in any kind of crazy direction. We're just waiting for that moment. Waiting for that tech. Speaking of, Robo first. It is going to be a Robo follow-up here by Shameless. A Robo follow-up by Krystianer as well. Okay. We're still keeping up with each other. Still going for the same builds. With these Robos, we can get into faster Immortal production, Observers, more importantly, to scatter our opponents, to get a read on what's going on, to get an eye on the movements of our opponent's army. Likewise, we have our first hallucination moving out on the side of Krystianer, hallucination moving out from Shameless. We scout each other, we confirm the Robos on the way. No additional gateways, no fast Twilight Council, no fast Stargate, no fast Third. We see everything we need. See Krystianer moving out with his second hallucination. Trying to get a read what's going on. Krystianer is going for that Observer that we spoke of, but Shameless across the map is actually going Immortal first instead. Okay. We're going for the Immortal, and we see why we're going straight for the third base as well. We should be able to maintain our position here with that faster Immortal. Hallucination does confirm this. As Krystianer is also going for his third, getting into a later Immortal instead. So we're just chilling. We're big chilling right now. This is kind of what we'd expect to be seeing from a lot of Europe or EU PvP, just because there's a little bit less aggression going on. It's a little bit less chaotic. We're just calming things down and macroing up back at home, settling into our 3-base setup here. And we're not going to be moving out anytime soon, especially with these just non-stop hallucination scouts. Krystianer's just building up, and so is Shameless, and we shouldn't be pushing at least until we're saturated on 3 bases. Until we're fighting for a 4th. So a much more passive game, and here we go with our Twilight Council follow-ups. That is not Blink, that is not Charge, that is Glaives. Krystianer. A very aggressive choice here from Krystianer with Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts, they can do a great job at harassing, of course, at harassing mineral lines. They can also do a great job at tanking immortal shots. They don't have that much longevity in this game, so I'm a little bit concerned in that sense. But we'll see, as Shameless is going for a much more standard charge follow-up. Okay. Again, coming into our upgrades and coming into our 3-base setup, the advantage that Krystianer is going to have is bypassing the army and getting some economic damage done, and also forcing Shameless to split up his forces. Forcing him to split up his army, defend in multiple locations at once. It's not going to be easy here for Shameless. Not going to be easy, but we'll see when and where Krystianer decides to move out. We're just waiting for the Gateway Explosion to finish. Waiting for that Gateway Explosion to complete. 6 gates on the way. Hallucination dips in to confirm. Does get eyes on the lack of gases. Hallucination does check that natural as well. 4th base is on the way for Shameless. Krystianer with Glaives, we should be going for a 3-base all in. We should just be pushing with this army here and now. Is also why we have cut workers and cut gases. Meanwhile, we have Shameless instead taking up into Archons, into Charge Lots, more Immortals. There we go, Krystianer's pushing. So when it comes to the DPS of Krystianer, is mainly relying on these Immortals. He has 4, soon to be 5. There's a hefty Immortal count. We have 3 to defend. We have plenty of Charge Lots. The army is spotted. Shameless rotates around. Both army supplies are comparable with each other. They're close. Big warp in coming in of Adepts. There we go. The Adepts are going to be going ham on these zealots. Good force fields. We do catch a good push to the army. But the Immortals do survive. Yeah, the Immortals of Shameless do live. We have more force fields available as well. More than Krystianer live is what I meant to say. And honestly, Shameless doing well for himself. Forces back the army. Force fields once again catching the Adepts. A lot of Adepts do go down. And Krystianer being forced back. A much more efficient trade here from our blue Protoss player. The Immortals are starting to fall one after the other. Good juggling here by Krystianer. The main army has to back up. An overall solid defense here from Shameless. The force fields honestly were a key part of that. Time and time again, he just shut down the army, did cut it up. And now Krystianer is in a bit of trouble. Remember, he didn't take these gases, but now that he's forced into a longer game, we have our 2nd gas at the natural, we have our 2 gases here at the 3rd being taken as well. There's no 4th base. Shameless, he's getting ahead. He's secure. He's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's a bit of a desperation move. We go for a big warp it into the main. Immortals have been dropped. The army does respond. Yeah, we will defend. We will shut this down. The Immortals at least are saved, and we get 2 probes. That is still not worth it. At the same time, a depth counterattack. GG gets called. Shameless shutting Krystianer down completely there. And Shameless takes game number 1. Let's go. GG. Krystianer going for a 3-base all-in, cutting workers, going into glaives. Again, the downside of going into glaive adepts is that you do not have any longevity in this game. Without charge, without blink, you just get outscaled as the game goes longer and longer. As we saw there was no There was no second plan. There was no backup plan there for Krystianer. It was all or nothing, and he was shut down. And with that, Shameless with a lead in the series. Impressive. This is something that Shameless failed to do yesterday. I was just talking about it, how Krystianer did take the 2-0, and Shameless was shut down last night, but now Shameless is coming in looking to get his revenge. And of all players in the bracket, is Shameless going to be the one to stop Krystianer? Let's go. I'm ready for it. As we're getting into game number 2. And here we go. We're getting into that second game. Oh no, I just realized I forgot the predictions. No, I knew I forgot something. We'll get him ready for the finals. We'll get him ready for those grand finals. I was supposed to do predictions for these semis. I do apologize, but again, we'll get them going for the finals instead. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Starlight Twinkle down in this series. Again, trying to spice things up in game 1, but he gets punished for it. It is Krystianer. Can he bring it back? As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. I almost said Twisted Fairy. I almost... No, not quite, Papi, not quite. I do apologize for not having the Gamba. Do apologize, but we'll get it going for the finals. Would anyone have bet on Shameless for the 2-0? I mean, he is Shameless. But really, it was Krystianer who was Shameless last game. And honestly, based on the build, it did feel like Krystianer was overconfident because of what happened last night, because of his previous 2-0. That maybe he just assumed that he could just pull one over on Shameless, but overall, good response out of Shameless, good setup. Remember, his constant scouting was able to confirm that there was no all-in because we saw there were no gases at the third or the natural. No gases at the third, only one gas at the natural. Shameless didn't realize that something was wrong. And Shameless committing to his proxy. Both players throw down their pylons. The difference is that Krystianer, his pylon is fake. It's designed to force an overreaction. This pylon from Shameless is real. Pylon is done. Cybercore is soon about to finish. We need to wait a couple seconds longer. Cybercore does complete, and we're going for a proxy Stargate. Okay, interesting. Now, with a proxy Stargate, it's going to be not an all-in. This should be Oracle into an expand. Shameless should be expanding. The goal here is to get some economic damage done. As Krystianer, he doubles back, he checks, he scouts, and he does confirm. He does get eyes on the Stargate. Not the best start here from Shameless. Not the best start. As from here, we're going for a Robo follow-up. Interesting. We force a cancel on the Stargate. As Stalkers have arrived. Yeah, Shameless having a rough time here. With this Robo, we can get into early Immortal production. Nexus is on the way. Krystianer supply blocks Shameless, moving out across the map towards that natural. Meanwhile, across the map, Shameless, he's trying to slip in with some adepts, but Krystianer, he does respond, does fully wall off. Does wall off in time. And there we go, adepts that force a recall. We did force a finish, actually, on that shield battery. Not bad. Shameless forcing some inefficiencies here out of Krystianer as he now has to kill his own shield battery. But across the map, what about these Stalkers? That's the problem right now. What about these Stalkers? We kill the pylon, we have control of the low ground. We don't have an Immortal, actually. Uh-oh. Yeah, the Immortal just now starting, but I feel like this Immortal is late, and we have a cancel on the Nexus. Third gateway gets thrown down. This looks like a one-base all-in. I don't think the initial plan was a one-base all-in, especially with the Stargate opener, but this is where we found ourselves in. Shameless on one base. And Krystianer back at home. Can he hold? It does have a shield battery on the way to the low ground at least. No shield battery in the main. Sentries are amassing. Stalkers as well. And here comes a Prism. We're pushing. We're committing. And the hallucination will confirm this. Yeah, we do get eyes on the gateway and the bay as well. And Krystianer, he confirms that there is no Nexus. There is no expansion. Knowing is half the battle, but Krystianer, he now knows to be as defensive as possible. Prism is on the way. That's going to help with the defensive juggling, with the defensive micro. Yeah, there we go. Second and third shield battery on the way. We're taking this very seriously. With a triple shield battery setup at the natural. And with that blink, we can't really threaten the main base either. So we don't have a shield battery in the main, but honestly, we don't need one in the mineral line. We have one here at the ramp as a kind of a fallback point. Can fall back to that shield battery if need be. Army pushes forward. Decent force fields out of Krystianer, but doesn't lock down the army. Does not lock it down. Do have a full wall off. Good shield by Krystianer. But we have the Prism. We can juggle back. So far, so good. We force the overcharge. Boys are going down across the map, though. Attempts to get in. Oh my god. Krystianer with the Hail Mary play gets across the map, but 16 probes go down. And at the same time, all we have to do is defend. All we have to do is hold. And we are completely shutting down this push. Shameless being forced further and further back. GG gets called as he loses everything back at home. And Krystianer ties up the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a very rough start there for Shameless to lose his proxy, to cancel his natural as well, as things snowballed out of control early on. He was contained to one base, forced into an all-in, and for Krystianer to scout and confirm the all-in as well. I mean, everything was coming up for Krystianer in game number 2. Shameless has to go back to the drawing board here in the ace match, as game 3 is upon us. Game 3 is here. And it's going to be on... Oh my god, it's going to be on Ghost River. Ghost River, the smallest map in the map pool. Shortest rush distance by ground. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we're going to be popping off here. On the river. I'm ready for it. Let's go. Let us go. The pressure is on. I mean, it's a PvP. It could go either way. As much as aggression is favored, I would like to see more 2-base aggression here. I'm not too fond of proxies, just because they're so obvious, but we'll see. We'll see how we open up. As we're getting into the ace match and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Polish Protoss player. He is the reigning Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. 3 weeks in a row. It's been all about... this player here representing Starlight Twinkle. It's been all about Krystianer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. Representing Twisted Minds, it is Shameless. Honestly, already doing well for himself. Forcing an ace match out of Krystianer is not easy. It is not an easy feat. Not easy to pull off here. So has already surpassed himself from last night. But we're still looking for more. We're still looking for more. Oh god. Un momento. As we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay. You know, maybe some Uber Eats knocking on the door. Hopefully if there are some like technical issues, some latency, we're able to clear things up. But so far, we do have what looks to be 2 gate openers. What looks to be. Oh, as it looks like our players are back into this.
Game resumed.
There we go. The pause has ended. If there was an issue, looks like it has been resolved. So we can get back into the ace match. Probe is moving out. Krystianer skirting around his edge of the map. Does skirt around. Shameless moving out through the left hand, through the top side, I should say. There goes the probe. Does slip in, getting a full scout. Now with this probe scout, Shameless he sees, hold up, where's your pylon? Where is your pylon? And we can see it here and now. It's been proxied. So this is a fake proxy pylon out of Krystianer. It's designed to force an overreaction. And Shameless, he is getting into a Stalker Adept opener. Okay. Third pylon in the main base, not on the low ground. Interesting. Very secure location for that third pylon. Will mean that his shield battery at the natural is going to be a little bit delayed. Does mean that that opener is going to be a little bit more awkward. As the probe scout from Shameless will come across the pylon. And we get a full scout. So now Shameless knows that it was a fake out. And we can see him double back. He does now notice on the mirror map, hold up, what's that red dot? And he just makes sure that there is no proxy. So just a fake proxy pylon. Back at home, Krystianer is expanding. Meanwhile, Shameless, because of his reaction, he has his third pylon in the main base. Does mean he has to throw another pylon for any kind of shield battery. Going for a Stargate opener in the main as well. This should be for oracles, I imagine. Some oracle harass. There it is. Oracle is on the way. Hallucination does get picked up. Hallucination here from Krystianer was actually pretty big. We confirmed that the base is late. The natural base has been delayed. We also confirmed the tech of choice. Stargate opener, we get eyes on the Oracle. And that means that back at home, Krystianer, you can see he's in position. His army is getting in position to defend against that Oracle. So very good scouting here from our red Protoss. Does confirm what's going on. Splitting up his army. Ordering Uber Eats mid-matchup, the disrespect. Yo, sometimes we get hungry, Bobby. We get hungry. These tournaments, they can go for hours. Aye, aye, aye. I'll always remember, by the way. I'll always remember. There is a story. This was, what, 2021, I think? 2021. We were casting, was it a qualifier with Patience? I think it was like an IEM qualifier. Patience versus, was it Patience versus Bunny? I can't remember exactly who Patience was playing against, but it was me and Yaku. We were casting the qualifier, and Patience was doing well, by the way. He was doing well in his game. It was mid-game, and out of nowhere, Patience, he pauses the game, and then Patience, he says, sorry, food is here. And then he forfeits. he forfeits the game, and he forfeits his series. And we're like, Papi, wait, you can just pause. Sorry, I say he paused it. He didn't pause the game. He said that, then he left the game, and he forfeited his series in the qualifier. And it was like, Papi, you could have just paused. You could have just answered the door, brought in the food. It would have been fine. Like, we can. It's all cool. It's good. We were like flabbergasted. We're like, Patience, calm down. We can wait for you to get your food. And yeah, he just forfeited in the end. Feels bad. And bearing in mind, he was winning his game as well. He was ahead in the game that he was playing. And again, I can't quite remember if it was Bunny he was playing against. Maybe it was Solar. It was another Korean player. And yeah, Patience. The Chad move. He was like, I'm not waiting for my food. It's like, okay. He was hungry, Papi. He was hungry. It's one of my fondest memories of Patience. I love Patience. I love him. For those who don't remember, he was a Korean Protoss player. Damn good. Damn good. It was living in the Axiom team house for a long time as well. Ooh, as the Oracle does get picked off. Good move there by Krystianer. Does pick off the Oracle. Shameless backs up behind this. Shameless getting into a 3-way setup. yeah, I'll have to check the VODs for what series that was. Long time ago. Big Patience fan. I've said this before. When it comes to a lot of the Korean players, I'm a big fan of all those associated with Axiom, players like Patience, players like True as well. Patience and True. Both staying with the Axiom boys for a long time. Of course, MMA Innovation, the ex-Acer boys. But for now, we're getting into our fourth bases. Again, it's been a pretty passive game so far. Outside of the opener and outside of, you know, the initial tech of choice, we can see that Shameless wasn't really able to get too much. You can see here in the unit source tab, Oracle went down. We got one probe. We got the pylon, the proxy pylon earlier, but really that's all that Shameless has gotten as we're settling into a 4-base setup from both sides. A much more passive game here. See the chat's catching up. He doesn't want to eat a cold. True. Stomach greater than SC2. The priorities, papi. Yeah, don't get between Patience and his food, okay? Don't get between them. As Krystianer is going to be the first to push out, there is a stasis. Oh, we do catch a good chunk of Zealots. Very nice stasis, actually. We catch the Zealots behind us. We have 1-1 upgrades for both players, even in upgrades. Charge is done for Krystianer, but he can't make use of it. Here we go, a reinforcing wave of Zealots on the way. Shameless, he has the defensive advantage. We have a shield battery. We have an overcharge here in position as well. Krystianer, he does have the observer over the army. Does split the rotation. Another shield battery here as well. So far, Shameless is holding on. Again, it's purely gateway compositions. Blink Stalkers versus Blink Stalkers. We have Charge Lots mainly for Krystianer. Shameless needs a little bit more time, but Charge is now finishing up for him as well. Krystianer, though, with a swarm of Zealots. Now, the way this works here is that Zealots do a great job at tanking Stalker shots. They do a great job at tanking shots while your main Stalker army gets damage done. So they do work quite well together here. But Krystianer, upon seeing and confirming the defensive setup, Krystianer, he could not break the third, he could not break the fourth base, he backs off, and we are taking up into Disruptors. The Bay is on the way. Now, this could be Colossus as well. Both are viable in a way. Colossi are less popular, and we see them every now and then. This should be for Disruptors. Colossus, their role is kind of like an Archon, where they could do well against Zealot-heavy compositions. But after seeing this, we shouldn't be seeing Colossus. After seeing the lack of Zealots in general here. As Krystianer going for a split push, dropping in towards that natural. Zealots, they go for the cannon. No shield battery, no overcharge. Cannon goes down. Probes are falling as well. Krystianer trying to take advantage of the chaos. Does force a big reaction. We dive on the main army. We catch some Stalkers. Big shots go up. Oh, catching an Oracle. And we get 12 workers here. 14 probes in the main, in the natural. 15 workers now. And even though the main army doesn't break through, the Zealots, they more than pay for themselves. This was the goal. Like, Shameless has been doing really well keeping tabs on the main army and keeping up with the rotations. But his attention is split and he's having a hard time defending multiple locations at once. The Prism is still alive. Bear that in mind. We still have that War Prism. As we do see Disruptors now on the way, making 2 at a time.
Let our enemy know.
As the Prism comes back in, but we deny the warp in just in time. Good target firing at the Shameless. Good reaction overall. Shield battery is done, and we should clean this up. The one downside here for Shameless is he only has the 1 observer. He has 1 observer here outside the third. So he has limited vision to work with. He doesn't see many rotations that have a big Zealot counterattack towards the south. Likewise, it does look like Krystianer also lost his scouting observer as well. So both players a little bit in the dark as to where the main armies are. Shameless pushing towards the southern base. Does come across the Zealots. But his Nexus is under fire. A big reaction forcing a recall. Wait, were we Oh, never mind. Okay, we recall towards the base, but there's no saving it. The base goes down. Ay, ay, ay. The recall too little too late there. As Shameless is stuck on 4 bases. Meanwhile, Krystianer is getting a 5th. The 5th base is now done. And Krystianer now has the better army. Sure, you may have Shards also, you may have more Blink Stalkers than I do, but Krystianer, he has Disruptors. He has balls, papi. He has the Protoss balls. And let's see how he can use them. Let's see how he can handle them. Ooh, never goes off, doesn't connect. Does force back the army. Dark Shrine on the way for Shameless. No Bay. Yeah, no Bay from Shameless. Still sticking with purely gateway units. Risky here by Shameless, as there are so many Novas. Take down the Zealot. Send back the army. Another Zealot run right towards the left-hand side. The base is exposed. There's not enough here. We go for a surround on the Nexus. We cannot save it. Another cancel. That's the win condition for Krystianer, is to starve the Shameless out. Contain him and deny him his bases. Another run race threatened. Oh, Nova doesn't quite connect. It's Krystianer. He will back off for now. How many disruptors is this? 9! Oh my god, 9 disruptors for Krystianer. That's a lot of Novas. That's a lot of balls. Picking up the Zealots, rotating towards the south. Shameless, he is aware of this, does rotate as well. But with enough disruptors, we can just zone Shameless away from the base and we can push in. Speaking of, here they come. And Shameless, he has to retreat. He has to just back up and give up the base. There are 9 disruptors. We just always have one in the chamber. Ooh. And there it is. There's the cancel on the Nexus. And from here we can just back up. We can just keep doing this over and over again. Just dip in, send out some Novas, force back the army, and kill the base. Dark Templar run by is attempted, but we have a cannon in position. We have detection. Shameless cannot break through. Not yet. It is on a knife's edge, but the Krystianer's army has just so much potential. We go for a surround. DTs come in. Ooh, big connection of the Stalkers. We waste the blink as well. So many Stalkers are going to be going down. We do catch a couple of Disruptors. You can see the supply plummet for Shameless. Taking so many Novas there to the face. Oof. Yeah, 33 Stalkers going down. We did get 6 Disruptors, but there's still so many more left over. Again, that was a questionable blink from Shameless, blinking into the army, into Purification Novas. Krystianer pushing out once again towards the south, towards that base. Krystianer pulling back, coming across the main army. Ooh, forcing out a blink. Forcing out a blink, we dive on the armor, we take another Novus to the face. The target firing, we do focus on one of those Disruptors, but not the other, not in time. 2 big connections in favor of Krystianer, and you can see him take a further lead in supply. Again, when you play Mass Stalker like this, you need to be able to outposition your opponents. You need to be able to go for these backstabs, hitting the natural, hitting the 3rd, hitting the 5th base. Keep the defending Disruptor player on the back foot. When the Disruptors push out like this, like, how do we deal with this? In these main fights, you can't. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus. And Krystianer, he's just trading too well. We'll finally bleed out one of those Disruptors. There are 2 left. 2 Disruptors left here, but we have reinforcements on the way. More Zealots coming in. Krystianer, forward blink, we dive on the army, GG gets called, and Krystianer will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Krystianer as he does bounce back. It was a rough start. As a reminder, it was a rough start. Krystianer, he started off with a 1-0 loss after game 1. But here in game 2 and in game 3, he was able to pull himself back into it. Again, clean play here in game 3. Pretty passive defensive game initially in game 3. Both Shameless and Krystianer, they got up to 4 bases. But Krystianer was quick to tech. He was quick to tech into charge and quick to tech into disruptors as well. And Shameless was one step behind. He tried to go into Dark Templar, but it wasn't enough. He wasn't able to really catch his opponent off guard. There was just so much side defense everywhere to catch those DTs. And we had some rough fights there for Shameless. Really rough fights towards the end. Being maybe a little bit too aggressive with some of those blinks. And GG, Krystianer makes it to the finals 4 weeks in a row. 4 weeks in a row, he makes it to the grand finals. GG, well played. We have our finalists. It is going to be Krystianer versus Geralt. Oh boy. That is going to be our best of 5 grand finals here for Sparkling Tuna Cup number 49. Do need a moment to set things up. And likewise, I need a moment to dive into the raffle.